Hi, this is Kathie. Welcome to Craft with Kathie. This is one of our tags, one of our wooden tags. It's a door tag. It's 9 by 12 inches. I initially had planned 3 different projects using the welcome transfers. It's a beautiful set with all different sizes of the word welcome, but I garbled up the first one that I was doing on a wood drawer front, so I need to repaint that and do it over. So here is basically one project with the tags and another with an embroidery hoop. I hope you enjoy them. Because the tag is made out of wood, it needs to be waxed first. In this, I'm going to use the cadet blue and have the word welcome, and then pretty much it's going to be pretty simple. Just do a messy bow with red, white, and blue ribbon at the top, and maybe some gold stars. I'm not quite sure about the stars to see what it needs. So I'm just rubbing in the wax and then rubbing it right back off. No need for it to dry like paste wax. Just rub in, rub off. I'm sitting on this little wooden stool that I normally don't sit on, just because by the dog's area it's a little bit more cramped. There's usually not a chair here or whatever, so I put this here thinking I won't take that much space and kind of bother her, and it wiggles, wiggles, wiggles as I'm rubbing off the paste. So squeaky chair. Just one of those little IKEA stools. All different sizes. Let's see what we want to use for this one. I think I was going to use the print welcome and go diagonally like this. So this one. So let me cut that out. Don't you love when things go wrong when you have an audience? Hey Deb, how you doing? Sometimes it's a way to learn how to resolve the issue. Sometimes it's just, hey, it happens to all of us eventually. Okay, so I'm thinking of going like this. Just want to make sure I get my letters fully on there. Just need to fuzz my transfer before using it. Okay, this is terrible. I didn't realize I can't see comments on this angle. It's like put the glasses on, I still can't read them. The cursive, actually I think the cursive's just a little bit too small for it, because if that's all I put on it, then I've got all this excess space. So I really wanted something a little bit bigger. I've got something in mind for that cursive. We'll get there. Which in retrospect, I probably should have started with. I might have fuzzed that too much, so that's why it didn't stick as strongly and gave me an issue with the air bubbles. Let's try this one. Okay, I want to make sure I get the W on it and all of the E, and this looks like they both fit right here. I don't feel any air bubbles. We can do a sight check. Looks good. And then of course this would hang on your door kind of like this. my cadet blue. Here we go. So it's basically the same process, just in applying the chalk paste, which I've already got blue on me, don't ask me how, with your squeegee, and then pulling it through the transfer, through the silk screen of the transfer. And you can tell a little goes a long way here. So I make sure everything's covered. Remove any wrinkles or any lines and the excess, and put the excess back in the jar. And let me clean my fingers, because messy Kathie gets chalk paste all over herself. Okay, so I'm going to just lift it up. Voila! I'm going to put that off to the side to dry. Oops, I've got a little bleeding here. Here we go. Let's try this. Just a teeny bit here on the side of the M. There we go. Get this a little wetter and get it a little closer for me to see. I have not been able to get used to bifocals. They've driven me crazy. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to put this aside to dry, and we'll work on the messy bow. And let me make sure my surface is clean. These are my ribbons. Now, what I learned the other day when doing the messy bow, really watch your textures. I thought I could get by with using that real soft, kind of fuzzy blue ribbon, the navy ribbon, along with, I think my red was like a grosgrain, and the grosgrain was just too stiff. It just didn't really work well. I'm going to clean this transfer and show you how I clean it. I could bring this over to the sink and wash it, or I could actually do it on my surface. And I'm just spraying a little water on the adhesive side, flipping it over, and then spraying the top of it. Now I'm going to grab my little board eraser and remove the excess chalk paste with it. Some of our more pigmented paste will stain your transfer, but that actually does nothing to the usability of it. It has no impact on the life of the transfer. I have to remind myself why I moved things around today. I'm doing more walking on that ankle than I was doing normally. Okay, so here's my disinfectant wipe. Get rid of my board eraser. remove the paste, make sure you've got it out of the silk screen. See, most of that came off. The longer I'd leave it set, the more staining that would occur. But this isn't too bad. It, like I said, it has no impact on its usability. Our transfers are reusable 8 to 12 times or more with proper care, and proper care is just basically what I'm showing you. Cleaning the chalk paste off the back now. Getting it out of the silk screen. And then I usually use a new one to remove the lint from the back. This doesn't have much because I think I only fuzzed it twice, but generally when I do that, I'll go horizontally across the transfer and the lint will just kind of gather up on the cloth and then just kind of roll off to the edge. It's pretty easy to do. And then a little trick to dry our transfers a little bit quicker is after we've cleaned them, dog's getting antsy, is using the other side of my fuzzing cloth. I fuzzed it on the terry side, but the other side is microfiber. And if I put it sticky side up, it's not going to quite fit, sticky side up on my microfiber side, and then fold it over and squeeze out the moisture, this will dry much quicker. And when it's dry, I can put it back on its little carrier sheet. So let me just put that over. Oops, it's getting pretty sticky already. Over to the side here. Ah, it's sticking on me. You know what? I think it's ready for the backer right now. It's pretty dry. That was quick. Then you always want to put your backing sheet onto the transfer, not the transfer onto the backing sheet. So you lay it down on your surface, sticky side up, and then just line up your backer. My finger got caught in between them, stuck to it, okay. And that's it. And then you just basically put it back in the little cellophane and hang it up, or however you're storing them. So let me put that on the side and let's get to these ribbons. And I think this is 2.5 inch wide ribbon. Yeah, 2.5 inch. And this is the same size. And so is the white. The white I'm actually going to use on the embroidery hoop too, so let's see. Just cutting off the end there. I might need to trim this off, trim this down a little bit, but I think the surface is large enough to handle a rather large bow. Yes, I should not be using my transfer trimmers to cut my fabric or my bows. I've got another scissors out here somewhere. Oops. Let me just cut off the end of that spool from that. Okay. And where did I? Boy, I really seem like a hot mess tonight. I swear I was organized. I had things in little bags for each project. And I just left the things that I needed too far away from me. Somehow I have less surface space with this arrangement. So I'm going to alternate the ribbons. I fold it in half so I could tell where the center is. And then I'm going to just loop this cotton yarn around it. Kind of knot it. I broke a fingernail and it cracked so high up that I can't cut it off. And I keep bumping it and bending it backwards. Again, it's like, ooh, a little bit of pain there. So I'm trying not to use my index finger like that's gonna work here, right? Okay. I'm gonna knot that again, and then I'm gonna actually wrap it around a little bit. See, do I have to adjust this at all? Okay, no, I think it's fine. So I'm gonna wrap it around. And then I'm gonna knot it in the back. So in the center, we'll just have this little navy. Seriously, I can't believe I'm trying to do a ribbon without using my index finger. That's a joke. Okay, and I didn't know if I wanted to dovetail these or not. Probably would look nice dovetailed. So all you have to do to dovetail is to fold them and then snip from the outside to the inside at an angle. Thought I'd speed this up a little bit as I dovetail each of my ends. Messy bows are great for using leftover ribbon. If you have pieces of ribbon that are 3 to 4 inches, don't toss them. Save them and put them aside for messy bows. Messy bows with different colors and different textures are great. Just be careful when combining textures that you don't use. Things that are too different. My very soft corduroy or velvet ribbon mixed with a very stiff grosgrain just didn't work out for me because the velvet just couldn't stand up to it. But messy bows are a great way of using your leftovers, economical, and they give great texture and color to your projects. So, and they're easy. Now that they've all been dovetailed, it's time to fluff this ribbon. And it's best holding in the center and just moving the different pieces in different directions so that they're kind of spread out. And moving the stars and stripe one down, the white one up, the red down, the stars and stripes up, the white down, and then the red up. So you get a peek of everything that's there. And it adds visual interest and texture. And you could actually give them a little bit more of a tug than what I've been doing here. I just bent that nail back again. Now I know this is kind of plain, but this is what I was thinking might go with this nicely. I have these little gold glitter stars. They have little hangers, but actually I could cut off the little tops. We don't really care about having a hole with a hanger there, just make it back into a point. And then distribute them around the tag. What do you think? It's a little plain, but in reality, the stars have glitter, so how much do we really want to glitz it up, right? I'm going to add a couple glitter stars with some glue dots. Just put a few of them on there to brighten it up a little bit. And I think it's fine with what it has. Basically, the glue dots can be removed and the ribbon can be removed, and this tag can be used for a different type of holiday or with a different design, because all that would be left on it would be the navy welcome. So using the glue dots and a removable ribbon gives a little bit of versatility. Once again, trying to tie a knot without using my index finger. And obviously it would go on your door, something like this. Oops, maybe out of frame. I need to tighten it up. Actually, this could probably be hot glued too if you didn't want to remove it, or I could glue dot it. But anyway, that's the general idea for that. Now on to the last idea from the welcome greeting set. This is a 10-inch embroidery hoop. I'm just going to unscrew the outside. And then I'm going to use my white ribbon and chalk on my white ribbon the word welcome. Wrong scissors. And I was thinking this one. Here I'm using my regular scissors for my transfers and my transfer trimmers for my ribbon. Oops. Okay, so let's get that there. Put this away. I'm going to plug in my glue gun because it takes a while to heat up. And we're going to need it to finish up this little hoop. Next time I move a real chair over here. This is craziness. Oops. Clean up my mess a little bit. Oh, and what I was thinking of is I have these real pretty solo flowers, and I thought they were the same color as my raspberry sorbet. When I first looked at them, though, I was thinking guava, and what I realize is it's in between the two of them. So I'm going to do a little mixing up of my paste to get the same color as my solo flowers. And I think I could do it with just mixing those two up. Yes, you can mix paste. You just never want to mix ink and our paste. So basically I'm going to mix together a little bit of paste and hopefully come up with that color. And I'm hoping I have a color tray in here. If not, I could just mix it on my surface. Because of course, no, I left the color tray at the sink. All my color trays at the sink. Okay. Let me get my ribbons out of here, because I don't want them to get ink on them. Okay. So I'm going to take a dab of my guava and a dab of my raspberry sorbet, and I'm going to mix them up. Okay, so just going to take a little dab of the guava, which seems like it's a little thick. So yes, you can mix your chalk paste to create your own custom colors. You just want to make sure that you use all paste or all ink. Ink has to be reset, so has to be heat set, so mixing them together is a big no-no. And then some of my raspberry sorbet, and I'm going to mix that together. Yes, I probably have way too much here for what I need, but I think this color's getting closer to what this flower is. It's a little light. But it's not so much the sorbet, it's picked up a little bit of the orange from the guava and a little bit of the pinkish from the sorbet, so I think this will work. So I'm going to just fuzz my transfer. And as I'm doing it on the fabric or the ribbon, I'm just fuzzing it once. Now I measured earlier to make sure that this would fit, that the ribbon was wide enough, so this is fine. I just need to get it centered on there. I think that looks good. Smooth it down. Grab my squeegee and my paste, mixing this up just a little bit more. Ooh, I grabbed a lot. Oh well, quick and simple. And now because this is a mixed up color, I cannot put it back in the jar. If I had a little jar, I could save it for something later, but let me just pull up the excess here. It has bled right through to the back of my ribbon, which shouldn't be an issue, but I'm actually getting it on my surface. So I'm going to lift this up and try not to smear it. And then I need to set this aside to dry. Chalking on ribbon is easy, obviously very quick, as you can tell, and can be very dramatic. If you'd like to check out and participate in my live tutorials, come on over to Facebook and check me out at Craft with Kathie. Kathie spelled Kathie. I'd love to see you there. Now on to some cleaning. So as the ribbon dries, I might as well clean my transfer. And see, as I caught this right away, there's very minimal staining there. I don't think I even need to use my board eraser. That looks good. Oh my goodness, I could smell my glue gun going here. It's going to start dripping glue any minute. Let's put it under cardboard underneath it. Clean the chalk paste off the back of it. Remove any lint. And I'm going to dry it on my microfiber side of my fuzzing cloth. Sticky side up, fold it over, squeeze out the moisture. And this dries rather quickly. Yeah, I think it's ready for its backing. Shiny side to sticky side. There you go. Not perfect. I should line that up a little bit better than I did. Whoops. There we go. I think that's dry. I didn't get any smearing. I wanted to be careful I didn't smear it, so that's good. Now all I'm going to do is take this embroidery hoop, drape it over the inner part of the hoop. I've got a little bit extra length and I cut it deliberately long enough to have that extra length. Put the top hoop on top. Get away from my paste there. Make sure that I have the top centered at the top, because that's where I'll put a string or whatever to hang it. Fold it over, and I'm going to pull this a little tautly to get it a little bit more tight on both sides. Before I tighten up. There we go. Sorry, I know I'm off camera there. I'm just grabbing and squeezing. And then I'm going to tighten the screw at the top of my embroidery hoop. Tighten it up. Trim my ribbon off. I'm just getting my greenery. I had a wreath here. I didn't realize it had, it was a wired wreath. And I just want to take a little bit of it and go across the top. So it's going to take me a little bit to just cut through this wire. There we go. So I'm thinking like this. And then I think this flower goes pretty closely. It's not perfect. Let me get back on camera. I guess I'm going to have to clean my surface up there. Maybe I'll put the big one over here. I don't know if I want to go through 3 of them their color, if I want to put the peach in between. I think the peach in between. What do you think? Kind of like that? So let me glue my greenery to my embroidery hoop. And I'm going to press down. Obviously, I don't want my fingers hitting the glue. This is lamb's ear, by the way, the greenery. I had one leaf fall off there. There we go. I'm going to give this a moment to dry. Get rid of my glue strings. I don't know if I want more leaves over here or not. I think a couple extra leaves there might be helpful. Kind of want to get it around that flower, not on top of it. When a stir stick comes in handy to hold things down until the glue dries. Glue strings. I'll clean them up when it's fully dry. But then just put a little ribbon hanger at the top. What do you think? I think the hoop was my favorite, and actually I was thinking of putting the welcome on the hoop, but I didn't have any of the larger hoops. I think that would have been very pretty too. I think you can't go wrong with the welcome greetings. It's a great little transfer set, and you can make all different size of decor with it, and just add a little personality to your entryway. Thank you so much for watching. I surely do appreciate it. See you later.